everyone, and welcome to another video. Today I have something kind of interesting. What this is a NVIDIA GeForce 210, and this is specifically an MSI version of it. And now I'll go ahead and pop up like on screen right now, probably like somewhere like right here or so, a like image of this, like the spec sheet. But yeah, this is a GPU that like a very low-end GPU that's almost as old as I am, and we're gonna be putting this in there and seeing how well it games. So let's go ahead and do that. So yeah, 1 second. All right, now I just need to take out this GPU and put in this one right here. Then take out the Vega 56 and toss in the this isn't a GT210. Or a G210. This is just a 210. There's no prefix. It doesn't get any prefix. This is like the second lowest end of the entire generation. It looks like just barely above the GeForce 205. So just put that into context. This is like from 2008. So like the year after I was born. Anyway, I'm gonna toss that in there real quick. 1 moment. Alright, and there we go. Now in there, I had to take off this bracket because it wouldn't fit right there, because this is a half height bracket and that's a full height thing. So I had to take off the bracket because, yeah, it wouldn't fit otherwise. So this is a little sketchy, but it's probably fine. Also, I just want to mention, 1080p is the highest resolution that this card can handle, by the way. And I don't mean that as in, like, it can game at 1080p. No. 1080p is the maximum resolution that this card can output anything at. So that's why we're using this monitor. This is like one of my secondary monitors. This is like 900p. So I'm hoping that might give it slightly more of a chance, since this is a little bit under 1080p. But like, yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug everything in real quick. 1 second. Alright, here we go. Wait a minute. I almost forgot one thing. 1 second. Alright, now it's almost time for the moment of truth. Now this right here, this has Linux Mint on it. I'm going to be using this as an example. As you can see, I've taken out my main SSD right there. And I have a hard drive in right here, and I'm going to install that to that. That is the same hard drive that I used in the first How to Linux video, which I'll probably pop that up in the corner right there. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, time for the moment of truth. Here we go. Plug that in. And I'm going to get ready to press F11. But anyway, turn on the power supply. Bam. See that fan spin to life? Now we gotta wait for an output. Okay. Graphics output protocol. F2 to... Okay, there we go. That's exactly what I want. Okay, there we go. So what we're gonna want is... Where's our flash drive? That's our disk drive. Okay, 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and get this set up real quick. So 1 moment. Alright, now it's time to install our Linux Mint Cinnamon Edition. Let me go ahead and do that real quick. Oh, by the way, we get a kitty. This is Zorro. He is a turd. An absolute turd. But we love him. Anyway, yep, there we go. We've got this up and running. That's actually going way faster than I thought it would. I mean, look at that. Not getting any issues just on desktop here. Keep in mind this is like 900p, but anyway, I'm actually going to go ahead and install it real quick. Alright, we're in. Also, by the way, I could theoretically get OBS and do things that way, but I'm not going to. And that's because I don't think this GPU can handle OBS. And I also don't have like a capture card, so this is kind of gonna be kind of the best we're gonna get. So anyway, let's go ahead and get our drivers real quick. Actually, wait, no. Before we do that, I need to update everything. I'm just gonna go ahead and get everything set up real quick. Alright, we're back. Now I can install the drivers. Now, since this is such an old GPU, I'm guessing that I should just be able to install it from here. Let's see. Oh, okay, so it's just already installed, okay. So this is an example of a GPU that's old enough that you literally don't even need to install the drivers, even though it's an NVIDIA GPU. That's nice. Anyway, we're all up to date. Now I'm going to install Steam. Okay, so what we're going to want is, what is it called for? Software Manager, okay, that's what Mint uses. So it should just be in here. Let's go ahead and let it load real quick. Alright, there we go. I got a few games installed, and we're gonna go ahead and see how this goes. Wait, one second. I need to enable, one second. I need to enable, 1 second, properties, where is it? Need to enable the performance overlay, 1 second. Alright, now here we go. Okay, this is probably not gonna go well. I'm gonna start by... Did it just instantly crash? It instantly crashes. Okay, I see. Okay, let's try something a little bit lighter then, I guess. Okay, let's try this, okay. Okay, it's currently loading, but the loading screen is kind of not doing too great. So I'm just gonna let that sit for a second, and then I'll be right back. Alright, we're here. I finally got in. I had to lower the resolution all the way down to 540p, and it's still really laggy. But here we are. Hold on, let me close that. I have like 20 billion pop-ups. 1 second. Let me see what I can do with settings real quick. Alright, here we go. Let's go ahead and do a free play just for simplicity's sake. Alright, here we go. By the way, you can see the FPS up here. Let me go ahead and angle this so that you can actually see that a little bit better. Yeah, so we got current, 1% low, and then I think that's like average or something. You really see that? Not really. I want to try. You know, this will have to be good enough. Okay, well, I mean, it technically ran at like a resolution that barely exists, but it technically ran, so I'm gonna count that. So that's one game we got to run. Let me see if I can get CS2 to work.
Bang.
Will CS2 run on a GeForce 210?
No.
Alright, we got Quake 2 RTX here. Of course, we're not going to be using any of the RTX part of this, but we've got it. Okay, here we go. Oh hey, this is actually running. Like, actually running, and running well. That's 120 up. Look at that. It's actually solid. Dang, okay. I genuinely did not expect any game to run at all on this. That's 150. And I'm getting like highs of like 700. It's like occasionally jumping up to like 100, like 700. I mean, I guess the main issue is I was trying to play modern games. And Quake 2 RTX is like, it's basically just Quake 2 but with ray tracing strapped on as an extra setting. I'm not dropping below 60. Like, the lowest I'm seeing is like 80. What happens if I turn the settings up, though? Let's just do the new textures. Still perfectly playable. Oh, this GPU only has like half a gigabyte of VRAM, by the way. And it's also like DDR3, not GDDR3 even. It's just like regular DDR3. So the RAM in this system is like faster than the VRAM. Let's run MSA like ×2. Okay, now we're dropping down to like, instead of going to like 80-ish, we're going down to 60. It is kind of, there's a lot of latency though. Nah, like, I'm genuinely shocked that this is running as well as it is. But anyway, so this is Quake 2 RTX, but without RTX. And I know it's not going to run well because software RT kind of is buns. But I kind of want to see what happens if I just turn every setting down to like absolute lowest possible, and then just enable ray tracing. So let's turn everything down as low as possible. Okay, so this is lowest possible settings. Currently, I'm getting like average of like 120. Occasionally spiking to like 700. No, that was 800. Alright, 870 for a second. Okay. So now what's gonna happen? It's probably just gonna crash. But we'll see. Alright, here we go. RTX. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, it's loading. It's a little concerning. Oh wait, it's actually loaded, kind of. Kind of. It's still loading. I see 1 FPS on the thing. I'm just gonna let that sit and do its thing for a second, see if it will load more, but I kinda highly doubt that it will. Okay, I think this is pretty much as close to running as we're gonna get it. But look at that. You see that? I call that frames per second. That's, I mean, it's not actually rendering anything, but that's frames per second, technically. So, I call that a win. It does ray trace. It ray traces. Technically, I mean, technically, CPU doing the ray tracing, but details. I expected it to just crash, honestly, so that's actually kind of impressive. Anyway, so that's Quake 2. Let's go ahead and exit out of that. Alright, what do we got next? Let's see, do I have anything that's like not good? I don't have it installed, but it'd take way too long to install, never mind. And then Counter-Strike doesn't even launch. Or CS2 doesn't even launch. What do we got here? Okay, That's not supposed to happen like that. But I've never played this game before, so I have no clue what I'm doing. First things first. And then, is it... Oh, it's like that. Oh no. I need to find... Yeah, no, the scaling's all wrong. Can I control it with arrow keys? No? Okay. Alright, how many FPSs are we gonna get? A whole 11 FPSs. Okay, what if we maybe like turn the resolution down a bit? How about that? Let's go to settings, graphics. Oh no, videos. Okay, video. Just lowest resolution available. Apply. Okay, it's kind of scuffed because it's now like this. That's not supposed to look like that, but improvement. That is definitely an improvement. Oh, that is like very lot of latency. Hey, almost not quite. Never mind. I was about to say almost 30, but no, that is not almost 30. Anyway, so that is muck. Right. Okay, so we've got 2 games that run. Quake 2 and Muck. I would say Quake 2 ran a bit better than Muck did. Wait, we also got Pixel Gun 3D. That's 3 whole games. Okay, we got 3 so far. I mean, I could go with something easy, but you know, like a pixel art game like this. But how about we go here? Anyway, it looks like that's gonna be all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.